Today we're talking about joining a performing rights organization as a musician. The Performing Rights Organization, or PRO, is an important entity to be familiar with, and if you are a musician and you write your own music at all, you need to be part of a PRO. So let's talk about PROs. A performing rights organization collects back-end royalties for uses of your music. For example, if your music is used on TV, they are the ones who are going to pay the royalties for your performance. And you can also receive performance royalties from performing your own music at your own gigs, as long as the venue is listed on your PRO. Most countries have at least one PRO. In the US, we have 3 of them. We have ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. You can only really join on your own free will ASCAP and BMI because CSAC is invite only. So this is not meant to be a biased video too. I'm not going to be discussing the differences between the PROs. There's research. I'm going to post a video pretty soon about the differences between ASCAP and BMI at least. But this is just in general information about joining a PRO. You should do it. And most of the PROs in the world work with each other. So if you had a placement in the UK and you're a ASCAP or BMI writer, PRS is the UK's big PRO. They're going to handle the collection of the royalties and send it to your ASCAP or BMI account. Here are some of the types of royalties that you can get from your PROs. If you have uses of your music on cable TV, that's a big one. One of the higher paying types of royalties. You can receive royalties from your music being streamed on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, etc. Live performances at venues. So if you play at any venue, you can actually submit the set list that you played and you can get back-end royalties from that live performance. So that alone, I think, is enough of a reason for any musician to join a PRO, because most musicians play gigs, assuming you write. If you don't write anything, then I guess you don't need to be a part of it. But let's say you're just a full-time performing musician and you happen to write your own music. Get on there. Create a generic set list that you normally play. Submit it to every venue you play, and your PRO, the fees to join will be recouped very quickly from just this. And then you can get much higher paying royalties if you're doing more sync licensing and whatnot. If your music is used in an airline, hotel, restaurants, and bars, that will earn you some royalties as well. Your music being used in advertising and promos also will earn you royalties. So things like this. There's a lot of other things, but mainly it's when you play live, when your music is used for sync on TV or commercials, and then hotels, airlines, etc., and more. So when you join a PRO, you'll have it's called an IPI or CAE number. That's a unique number for you. If you work with an exclusive library or anything, if there's a placement that you get, they're going to want your IPI number in order to make sure that you get paid. So that's the important number to know. You might have a member ID number, but people won't really be asking for that. So IPI number is something, and CAE is sometimes called. Don't be afraid of giving this out. This is how you get paid for placements. So if somebody asks you for it, then give it to them. And depending which PRO you're going to be a member of, you may also need to get a publishing entity on there. So you would have to have 2 accounts. If you don't already know, the song copyright is split up into the songwriter's share and the publisher's share. They're each 50% of the total equation. If you want to get paid all your royalties, you're going to need a separate publishing account and a songwriting account if the PRO doesn't unite them in the first place. Once you are a member of a PRO, you're going to register your songs and your tracks on there. Okay, if you have any band or artist songs that you have, put those in there, and then you can perform them live and collect royalties from that. Hopefully you're doing this, signing up for a PRO early too, by the way, because you don't want to be too late and miss some of the payments you could have gotten over the years. So you register your music on there. You put in things like, they give you an ISWC. You might have an ISRC for your track already. That's a code that's embedded into the music file. If your stuff is on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff, then you'll have an ISRC already, whether you provided it or not. So you put in things like the ISRC. If there's any co-writers, you'll put them in there, and the percentages, you're going to put, who the publisher is. If it's you, then you put your publishing entity in there. So it splits. They'll ask you other questions. Is this music intended for a commercial or product or something? You might put the length, how long the song is. and things like this. So this is how you register. It's easy enough. I should say too, if you're working with an exclusive library, they will do this part for you because they are the publisher. They want to ensure that everything's correct, so they do it for you. But if it's non-exclusive tracks or just your own artist music, you will submit those and you will collect the publishing share of that unless you promised it to somebody else. All right, and then getting paid, the best part. You join a PRO, you're going to get paid. Usually the PROs will do quarterly payments, though ASCAP, they pay monthly, but it's like 1 month will be the domestic songwriters payments. Next month is going to be domestic publisher, and then the next month is international. So quarterly, you're still getting the same stuff that you would get from, say, BMI, but BMI is just one quarterly payment and includes international and domestic royalties. So how much should you expect to get paid from your PRO, huh? Well, this varies wildly, depends what's going on. If you have TV placements, one TV placement on a good network like an ABC, NBC, CBS, it can be in the hundreds. You know, you might get $200, $150 for a placement. Obviously, it varies a lot. If you had something in the Super Bowl, then it's probably going to be four figures. But some of the other, like MLB Network or NFL, some of the sports networks and just some other random, not as big ones, they don't pay as much. You might get some pennies or dollars. You might get 40, $50 for a good one of these. And for a bad one, pennies, whatever. When you play your music live, I mostly play singer-songwriter shows in my area, which is New Hampshire and Massachusetts. I just submit. I find if the venue that I'm playing at is on the PRO, I will find it. I'll submit my set list and then, see what happens. I can get sometimes $5 or $10 for a gig, maybe sometimes less too, $3. But if it's a bigger venue, like venues where like famous bands and stuff play, then you're going to get more than that. You might get $100, $25. These aren't a ton of money, but you might as well do it. Getting, free $40 or $50 every quarter or $100 every quarter. If that's something you want, free money, then submit it. So streaming, let's say on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube and stuff like that. You'll get paid for those. That's really low, though. Fractions of a penny per stream. You might take a few hundred streams to make a cent or a few thousand to make $1 or something. That's low money. So don't expect too much from that unless you're really getting like millions of plays on Spotify or something. But even then, it's not going to be a ton. It might be hundreds of dollars or maybe low thousands. And in the era that we're in, terrestrial TV stuff like, your ABC, live TV, NBC and stuff like that, those pay the best as far as TV placements. And there's also obviously streaming services like Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and Netflix. Those typically pay less than your real TV placements, but you want to get everything. You want to get Netflix and stuff that's going to air on other things. These don't pay too much. It varies a lot. But so I had a placement or multiple placements on the show Magnum PI on CBS, and that re-airs on Paramount Plus, or it's just on there. It's part of the service. When it aired on regular TV, I think I got like $200, and then when I get a 1 quarter's worth of Paramount Plus royalties from the same thing, it's like $4.50. So much better for the original broadcast. And a few more just miscellaneous tips. Always read every contract you sign in the sync licensing business. Make sure that you're not giving up half of the songwriter's share or something. Some libraries are doing this now, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, they keep 75% of the royalties of a song that you wrote. You get only 25% of your creation. So don't sign any bad deals like that. And hire a lawyer if you need to, really. Some of the wordings can be tricky for contracts. I also say this too, beware of any company that wants you to not be a part of a PRO. There's a notorious one. Epidemic Sound is a music library. I know it's popular for YouTubers and stuff, but if you write music for them, you do not get to have a PRO affiliation. I think that they are probably claiming the works as their own and they are collecting the royalties. I might be wrong about this. Maybe it's that they want just no strings attached when they license the stuff. And especially if you're in a long-term game of sync licensing, you want to get the royalties, always keep getting the royalties. You don't want to be exempt from royalties. Why would you do this business if you didn't want to get royalties? Always keep writing great music and earn the royalties you deserve. It's easy to sign up for a PRO too. You probably have to pay some fee when you first sign up, but you'll make the royalties back in no time anyway. So that's it for today, guys. That's how to join a PRO. Be sure to subscribe and let me know what kind of videos you want to see next.